Lots of people today have come around to loving Spider-Man Web of Shadows, a game that wasn't greatly received when it came around at the time. But there aren't many ways to play this old gem. Either you already have a copy of the game from when you were younger, or you would have to pay overinflated prices to buy it online. Given this, I'd say it was about time a company remade this game and bring it to its fullest potential. As far as aging goes, it hasn't aged the greatest, but it's an old game so I won't hold it against it. First thing to fix would be the texture pop-ins, as those were noticeable and immersion breaking. Next would be to have more shadows throughout the city, as sometimes they aren't strong enough. Frame rate stuttering would be completely fixed as well. The lighting would be revamped to be more realistic, but still have similar vibes to the original game. Something I noticed in a old forgotten promo art for the game is that there was a sunset time of day where the sky was orange and yellow with dark clouds. Spidey was crouching on a gargoyle while the city was dark and with smoke in the background. It's a shame we never got this time of day in the final game, as it would have given it more visual variety, so for the remake it definitely should be included. There was another unused time of day as well, which was shown in the teaser. It's a different nighttime than the one we have in the final release, and it will work perfectly given the game's tone, so this one would get added as well. Any low quality textures present in the original game will be brought to higher resolution. There will be less duplicated citizens and vehicles on the streets of New York. So in the remake, there's more variety in what the civilians look like, and their wardrobe would match that of 2008. The MetLife building would have its signature sign on top, and the Chrysler building wouldn't be excluded. Empire State Building wouldn't be named the Trask Building. Character facial animations would be redone to bring about more realistic expressions. Spider-Man's red and blue suit would be recolored, with the red no longer being that of an orange hue. Instead, it would be like in the box art, bright red and dark blue. The black suit and its powers would be recolored to be gooey black instead of purple, like in the back of the box art. Venom would be redesigned to look like his concept art form. As well as MJ. In the PS3 and Xbox 360 versions of the game, only unlockable suit is the black suit. You actually unlock more suits in the Wii version, so those will be ported over into the remake, but obviously revamped. I would also add the beta version of the red and blue suit. That one's different from the final version, as it has the Spider-Man 3 front logo and web pattern, but with a classic back spider. I also add the beta black suit, seeing as it's far cooler than the final version. The logo is thinner, matching the eyes better, and the purple is a whole lot darker. Something I forgot to mention is that I found the logo on the final version of the black suit to be too low, so I'd raise it higher. Since it appears in the end credits, I also add the Gabriel Del Otto suit. The real crime would be not to add the Spider-Man 3 standard suit and black one, so those would be brought in. I add the Secret Wars black suit, John Romita Sr., and the Scott Johnson classic and black suits. This would make for a nice, varied selection of suits to choose without being bloated. For gameplay, there's very little to fix, as it's one of the most fun Spidey experiences. First thing to tackle would be the occasional janky swinging. Sometimes the webs wouldn't always attach to buildings, So this remake would ensure your webs don't attach to clouds. The wall running speed would be increased and its animation would change too. If you decide to fall off from a very high height and land on a vehicle, it'll break and you'll take great damage. If you swing too fast in front of a building, you'll go splat and slightly crack the glass. I'd reduce the amount of spider tokens you have to collect by 50%. I'd reduce the factor of tediousness of the optional missions so that it isn't boring for players. This remake would bring back a scrapped mission where Spider-Man has to rescue civilians from being ambushed by symbiotes on a rooftop. The Wii version of the game had an exclusive feature where you could have used your tendrils to grab objects and throw them at enemies, so this gets brought in too. In one of the TV spots for the game, there's a man who's on a boat. A scared woman tells him to look over at the Statue of Liberty, which is now venomized.
Did you see that thing?
Yeah, what is that?
Look, are you getting this? Look!
This doesn't make sense. Oh my...
I bring this into a playable mission where you have to make sure the civilians get out of Ellis Island on boats without the tendrils destroying the boats. Back when I used to play the game, I never liked the fact that Luke Cage had to teach Spider-Man how to use his own powers. So this would be redone and revoiced so that Spidey does it himself. To avoid repetition, the symbiote Moon Knight boss fight wouldn't be realized, as you already fought enough venomized characters. The real canon ending I would choose as definitive is the one where Spider-Man calls MJ and tells her he did what he thought was necessary. This isn't cheesy or grim, but shows Spider-Man still wins, but at a cost. This is the part of the video where I start to say my goodbyes. Overall, this is what I would personally want from a remake of this old gem. Nothing more, nothing less. If this is how we got the game released again, I think it would be a very strong contender for one of the best Spidey games. Thank you everyone for watching, and take care.